because they have some set of agendas and have to try to route it. It's a combination of being kept in the dungeon and having this imperial power.
Part for the, c'est les magazines ici, c'est les journaux, oui.
Yeah, it's only periodical.
The books are in another room. C'est celui-là, ok. Je sais pas, je me fais avoir. All the things we've read when I was a kid, you know, this kind of stuff, you know, the equivalent of the comic books, but for French people. Most of it came from Italy, you know, this kind of.
Oh, okay, that format. Yeah.
You know, and it was for kids during the 50s and 60s, and during the 70s, the same books were pornographic. It was for another public. And after
the kids grew up and they needed
exactly.
To have some.
That's the point.
Got to keep them reading.
That's the point. And what else?
So that stuff like Dylan Dog and stuff was being published in France, or is that later?
Dylan Dog is later. What we all know is Zambla, Hakim, Black Loroc.
Diabolique, okay, yeah.
And it's going to be the 50th anniversary of Diabolique, and I have a meeting with a guy who wants to do a big show about it. So it's interesting. Yeah. We'll see what we can do. And recent. So, okay.
Legal deposit.
Okay, the National Library.
Anything for copyright comes to this library rather than...
Since, even before it was created here, the National Library decided that they would send a copy of everything comics or about comics in Angoulême since 1984.
Wow.
And it's still going on today. So it's 5,000 books, comics, albums coming every year here. We don't have to look for them. We don't have to pay for them.
Sounds
wonderful.
Good. You know, like I used to think that the Library of Congress in America, same thing. That in order to get the copyright, you had to send 2 copies. So I just assumed it was all there, and basically they threw it away. You know, they said, "Oh, garbage, man." But okay, we got it registered, throw it out. So all of those comics, they're now spending a lot of money to buy again because now comics have a different price.
Yeah, you know, a long time ago, I was a publisher, and I knew a guy who was working there. And one day, he told me, "Oh, I saw your comics today at the National Library." I said, "Oh, good. My books are at the. We send them." And he said, "Well, they were dumping them in the garbage can." I said, "Really?" And it changed within the, let's say, 20 last years. They take it really seriously now.
Oh, now they're doing things like all those newspapers that they burned because of, once they microfilmed them, who needs it? They're now buying back, and they're doing these incredible restoration jobs that are either, I thought they were just doing color Xeroxes and just getting away with it.
No, it's true. Wow. They're able to do it.
How can you cut newsprint in half?
I don't know.
It's not even fiber paper. I mean, it's just pulp, right? So, all right.
It's really interesting. I suggest, since we don't have much time, I suggest we go and see the artwork. The books first, but
the artwork.
Okay, super. Okay. When they were on the beach, she said, "My memory of him is seated under the parasol, you know, and drawing.
Wow.
Drawing. He would draw all the time. I have other things by Calvo to show you."
And the museum is perhaps in the process of
buying this.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't owned by.
It's a deposit of the grandson, but we're discussing.
Look at that.
Wow. Sorry.
No. Your reactions are quite interesting.
Well,
to
holy
us.
shit, that should be recorded. Wow.
You know, I really love The Beast is Dead, but this is, from the artistic point of view, in my opinion, it's much better.
I was really lucky. I knew Etienne and Florence at the right moment, and they said, "You know, you should really know this Calvo guy." And they came back with a copy of Le Bête et Mort for me after I'd started Mal's, and then after that they got me a copy of Rosalie, so I'm indebted.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yep. Oh yeah, I know it well. I mean, I have old editions and new. Reprints. There's a new reprint in France from a few years ago that's not bad. They did Rosalie as well, right?
Yeah. They came because Calvo was conscious of the fact that it was a masterpiece because he was the one to do all this binding. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to ask about that, and that's interesting to know.
And the rest he didn't care, but this La Bête et Morte and this book, he gave it to a guy and said, bind it, and if you look at the outside, sorry.
Oh.
And it's in the family since then.
Wow.
And he was
And he's smart enough not to use rubber cement. Smart man.
he was absolutely conscious of the fact that it was great.
And how long was the work on this one? Like, do you know?
No, it's really hard to know. Really difficult to know. But I'm
quality
really
of the work.
crazy about this. I'll show you some more of this kind of
It's the
things.
finest type of work.
Yeah. It looks like somehow he also knew about Harrison Cady.
Yeah, through cross-Atlantic osmosis or something.
He was familiar with what was going on in the United States at the time. You heard that Disney offered him
Yeah.
to work, and he said no. His wife said, "What will we do there? You know, we don't like the way of life. The food is terrible. Let's stay."
And then Disney sued him, right?
Yeah, he
was
sued them
earlier.
first, and
Yeah,
then
and then offered him a
to-
job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, getting his ass one way or another.
See, it's a joke because this part of the bridge is called a tablier.
Oh, an apron?
Yeah, an apron of the bridge. So you have it's all kind of jokes in the text, between the text and the art, the illustration, the drawings.
What are the red circles? Not all of the page numbers are circled.
It's probably for the printer to make sure that he doesn't goof. And one says it's
tour de
the
force.
Everything is considered. You know, every little.
That's beautiful. The really solid blue shadow.
yeah. I'll show you some more of this. He loved this blue type of blue as a shadow. He uses
Wow. Yeah.
uses it all the time.
Did he have other artists as friends, or not at all? Do you know?
He was friends with he was friends with other people. He worked with an artist who was also a writer, which Marie-Jacques, who did a lot of children's story for him.
It's a familiar name. Huh?
The guy who did the editor of the magazine Cocardi in the 40s and 50s, and Marie-Jacques did a lot of stories for him, Coquin and all this kind of thing. That Etienne and Florence probably showed you too, I guess.
Maybe that's where I know the name from. But it's not like him and Dubout would hang out at Angoulême.
He
or
was
something.
he was he knew you probably know Félix Loriot, the French illustrator.
Actually, no.
Well, too bad.
Okay.
I have books home, but yeah, he was very influenced by Samy Vell, Dubout.
Oh, Sammy Bell, yeah.
Of course,
Uh-huh.
and Dubout, and also Loriot, and Disney. But
Yeah.
he did his own version of Disney.
I'll say. But he knew Sammy Bell. I wouldn't have necessarily thought of that as a connection. I know who Sammy Bell is, but it doesn't seem like it's exactly the same.
On some of the illustration, it's to me it's quite obvious.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yikes.
There's, there's a pun that works also in American about, to screw,
Oh,
and it's in
It's
the
in
text.
there.
It's in there. He was absolutely conscious of what he was doing.
Screwy cartoons.
When this thing came out, it had an audience or not really?
He had the audience. La Bête est Morte was a huge success. So
Yeah.
it came 1 year after, and it was quite successful. And the mystery for me, this guy was aimed to have a great career, and he went back to work for children. Is it because the publisher were not interested? Was it because the public was not ready at the time? But he went back to do Moustache and Trottinette and all this stuff. He could have done. Now think of him illustrating, I don't know.
Kama Sutra.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that would be interesting.
But this stuff he wasn't aiming it at kids? This wasn't kind of a kid book?
Not well, of course, but if you read it, it's not only for kids.
Oh.
It has at least 2 levels of meaning.
Who made the text? Was this his text?
Him.
Okay, so not like La Bête et Morte, which has a
And
really
there is
stupid text.
a story about Dansette, the writer. A year before La Bête et Morte, he did a book in praise of Pétain and Lévis. One guy discovered this in the United States, by the way. A French guy, a guy of French origins who did researches and discovered that Dansette would have done a book praising La Milice and Maréchal Pétain a year before doing this.
I tried to read the text and then finally just gave up.
To be honest, I read it once or twice, and it's unreadable. It's too much, and then you go in the book in the illustrations, of course.
But this is actually worthy, the text of these things?
This one is funny. I mean, you know, it's not too much, and there are a lot of puns, a lot of double meanings, and it's quite interesting. But the end is unbelievable. You're near the end, you'll see. It's crazy. With the fire, it's
Parting out the fire. Wow. You've seen this before, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's like seeing it for the first
Yeah,
time.
yeah, it's amazing. Definitely is part of that, like Archie Bashev and Arthur Schick moment as well.
Exactly.
You know, JP, the publisher, JP.
Oh,
So he puts it
there's a
everywhere.
bunch of drunks.
Man, his fire demons are great, eh? Just,
Yeah.
Turn the page, you see some more.
Okay, here we go.
And the Rosalie was the big car, the new car of Citroën at that period. So it's
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
It was called the Rosalie.
the Rosalie.
Ah. Was there any relationship there? Did the
He was
company-
a fan of the
Just a fan of the car.
Yeah, of the car, and so he decided he would do a story. We used this as a season's greeting card some years ago. Remember, this is the back car.
wow. Pretty super. Wow, inspiring.
Okay, Paul,
Yeah.
are you ready?
Yeah.
Because you know that already.
The exquisite corpse.
Yeah.
This
So-
should be a raw book.
Oh man! Yeah. Oh yeah.
Help yourself. And you have the original artwork here.
But this is better.
Oh.
Treat it carefully. So
Never
Tommy.
reprinted.
Never?
Never reprinted. See, it's 46 or 7. And you were talking of the shadow here.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
the same.
how it prints.
Wow.
It's much brighter
Yeah.
on the original.
Why doesn't the museum republish this exactly?
Because it costs a lot of money to do.
This is not natural.
Printing doesn't cost a lot anymore. That's like back in our childhood. I mean, printing's incredibly inexpensive now.
Yeah, well, yes and no, but well, that should be considered. There is another thing: is there is a policy we're not supposed to, comment on dit être en concurrence, to be, you know, the publisher. We cannot replace the publisher, you know. So
But you did a great book, wasn't it, from the museum of Gustave Doré's early comic?
no, it's not. We did the book with we did all the science stories of Le Chat Noir,
Yeah.
and also we did the Maestro by Caron.
Yeah, but then what didn't you do? There's one. I'm trying to remember the name of it right now.
Désagrément d'un voyage
yeah,
d'agrément. No,
yeah.
we didn't do it. It's somebody. I guess it's in Switzerland. Some
okay.
publisher did it.
Okay.
You'd sell a lot of these at the bookstore.
Yeah. I'm
Everyone
Yeah.
would want. You've got to want to get this for your kid.
Was
You
this
know?
book a success when it came out?
I guess so, but it was as far as I know, it was not a big print run.
But also, you know, this was a genre. It's just this happens to be one of the more insanely and interestingly done versions of them.
Yeah.
But what I love is to begin with a skeleton.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
The skeleton.
Does he end with something specific? But it's not like that.
The Pope? Is that the Pope? No.
No, it's atomic, so it's a science. It's
Scientist.
it's atomic.
Oh, it's atomic.
Atomic.
That's
The
the
professor.
publisher. It's supposed to be the publisher.
Oh, okay.
And there is one
Jeez.
tiny
Amazing,
detail.
right?
If you look at the artwork, look at the blues.
Oh man.
Look at that skeleton.
It's like very, it's the kind of thing that leads to people like Robert Williams, where somebody's just insanely interested in the specifics and the details. Like, how do you?
I agree with you. And
make every
one
line.
thing I did, we did an exhibition on him in '92, and we took very small drawings, little details, and Xeroxed them to enlarge them as big as that. And it was still.
It's still strong, right?
It's unbelievable. He is in every stroke he does. All the power of his, creation is in it.
Well, these things like, I'll have a real three-dimensional mole sitting on his nose, and we'll show like the bone structure of the knee until you're ready to scream.
And the guy was self-taught completely.
But it's not just like an indication of a shoelace. It's like the lace comes out of here, goes there, comes back up, and it's really thinking about each little piece of it as a fully visualized thing.
It reminds me of you. It's good that you mentioned Robert Williams, but he reminds me also of Crumb. The capacity of being able to be in every drawing you do, every line you do.
Yeah. Well, with Robert Williams, I was thinking very specifically of the kind of obsessiveness to the little kind of built details that make something bigger.
And the plastic quality of the drawing.
It's funny.
Wow.
Some more.
Sure. Oh, is there more? Okay.
No, because Paul took pictures last year at the same.
Oh,
Could you send me some? I didn't get this.
No, well, we got the artworks.
Yeah. There we go.
I didn't bring my camera with me.
We'll send you some.
Would you?
Yeah.
Did you get the skeleton?
Let's get the good picture of the skeleton. I got a picture of the book before. There we go. Yeah.
And some classic pieces in here.
He has a weird sense of humor, grotesque type of. You've seen 1, 2, 3, 4 Disney.
Right.
Wow, look at that. Look at that chin.
So we're in the process of buying this.
As well as
museum.
more of the collection too.
The whole rack you saw last year.
Which is how many drawings?
1,200 something, including sketches and. The story behind this. This is Dansette, the writer of La Bête et Morte and the publisher. And he probably said, "I will draw you for the book." And Dansette, Annie Calvo's daughter, told me Dansette refused. So he decided he would do that. And you have a sketch. And he told me he looked much more like that than this. But that's him definitely. If you have a picture of Dansette, it's obviously. So it was a way of paying tribute to him, but he refused. And that's why you have this in the book.
Fantastic.
What's that say? You can't tell.
This is.
And it's
okay.
the donkey. And this was
Unused.
Unused. It's not.
Not funny enough.
Maybe with the glass.
Thank you for showing me that.
It's killer, right? It's not finished. Look, some more.
We could spend a solid month just looking at Calvo.
So this is ABC book, But I wanted to show you something really specific. On the back of this one,
Holy Christmas.
you have the sketches of one page of La Bête et Morte.
It's always good to put a few notes down. Holy Christmas, that's amazing. Did he stay fairly close to this?
Passe-moi le livre, Marie. you look here,
Oh, how nice. Just how nice.
these pages are. It's wow, shit.
I've seen these things, at least for looking through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in. I can't remember where it is. It's in the beginning, but the guy. Hey, here. There you are. See?
Yeah.
And this is another scene from another part of the book.
Down to the mosquitoes, it is
The flies
the flies.
and the crack on the wall.
Jeepers.
And all the sketches we have, all the thing he does in pencil are like that. As precise, as neat, as it's unbelievable.
But it's good if he didn't do a preparatory drawing, he wouldn't have gotten the smoke as good.
The second time, right?
Jeez. Because other than that, it's almost line for line. And that's just, he'd seen it in his head before he put pencil to paper.
And you know, you turn the page and said, "I know this drawing," and so you
Wow.
and
And there it is.
yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, this one sort of, I vaguely remember.
It's also in the book.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Alphabet book?
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's it.
Wow.
And
Did you take a picture of the scene for me?
Yeah.
Francoise will want to see this. She might become our republisher if nobody else does.
Man, she should do
The book?
the Exquisite Corpse book.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
You want to take a picture of the cover for me?
Yeah.
you know, we have a good copy of the book. If Françoise is interested, look. This is Monsieur Loyal présente.
That's the ABC book.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Totally do this.
Yeah, well, let's take that spread. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
one
yeah.
inside spread.
Deal.
We'll have to find different words because Norse is it's for this N is for
Right, exactly.
bear, so we'll have to
Right.
find.
Ours. Ours.
Oh, yeah, oh,
Yeah,
right.
but in
Ours
this
is
case,
ours.
numero? It could be-
Orang-outan, ocarina.
Yeah. Oscar.
O is for Oscar. But one could revamp for
Yeah,
such
yeah,
a thing.
yeah. I think so. You could figure out a way of doing it.
And did you take away the little
The-
kind
the
of
pencil?
split thing?
Oh.
The split book? The
No, you mean
I just wanted to pull together a cover. I want to show those to Francois.
think I got it.
it's
You
on
have
your
that
blog.
already?
Yeah.
It's on your blog
It's on my
already.
blog.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Last year.
Cool. Wow, thank you, man.
And
time for
one
anything
last
else?
thing with Calvo, we could spend the night with it, but,
Oh.
and as Paul said, probably a month. But I just want to. This is Patamus.
Yeah.
Look at that. And one thing which amazes me is the fact that if you hide this, it's pretty dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
And this is cute and let's say funny, but it's cute. Two of them match, and it works perfectly.
Yeah.
It's very close to Loyou. It's too bad. I have books of Loyou home. I should. I could have brought them.
You know Harrison Katie's stuff, right?
Yeah. Of
That was
course.
a generation earlier,
Yeah,
but it's
exactly.
clear that he saw it, like these little bugvilles, and that particular way of drawing trees is part of Katie's.
Yeah, it's the same. You know, one thing which is amazing is he did the black, and then he would take
Oh,
to get a vibration.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do it with a brush. He does it with a.
Razor.
Wow. Yeah, that's
And
like-
Uderzo, when he was a kid,
So he
and you
just-
know
Yeah,
the story. And he was next to him, and he would look at him drawing once a week during the war for something, a few months. And Uderzo is 80, I don't know. And one TV crew showed up and said, "We want to do something on Calvo." I said, "You should call Uderzo and ask him if he's willing to testify in the fact that Calvo is a genius." And he's 82 or 3,
Yeah.
and he said, "Of course, I will do it." You know, it's,
Yeah, without a question.
and to me, which is you're familiar with Asterix?
Yeah, of course.
If you think of the village and the forest outside of the village, it's not the same atmosphere and the same technique, but he's trying to catch the same feeling of being in something which is at the same time cozy and a little
Primordially yeah.
And a little
Something
scary at the same time.
And animated.
Mm.
It's an animated line. It's got life in it. It's some spirit into it, built into it. Jean-Pierre, what about the signs? The signs, big signs, the signage he made. Did he make some big, large signs, like for a building or something?
You mean
Hand-painted lettering?
He
For a big sign. Did I see?
did advertisement for André,
Yeah.
but we don't have it.
Ah.
Florence has. If ask Florence for Calvo, she has a great collection
Oh,
of
okay.
Sestac, and she knows everything about it.
I'm just going to take a photo of that.
Oh, sorry.
Directly, rather than have to find it on a blog. Camera. Oh, there it is. Turn on location services. No, cancel.
Yeah. Make your choice.
Let the maestro choose.
What is that a list of?
This is an odd list of names. You can see anything you want to see.
Oh, this is what's available to
Yeah,
see.
just, take your pick.
One thing I want to show you is this one, and
Oh, the
where is it?
Vogel.
And rip.
What's that?
Yeah. The Vogels.
I don't understand.
Yeah, Vogel is, I think actually he's a French guy. And he did the first French version of the hose gag, which is what I've been tracking down, the history of the hose gag, the arroso arrosé, which evidently goes way back before the Lumiere brothers film this gag. The Lumiere brothers got the gag from the comics. It was.
She probably can tell about this. It's documented that they got the gag from this very page.
From this page, from the Vogel page.
It's known. It's known.
And
It's
then it went
documented.
viral. This gag went viral. It's like suddenly everybody had to do their version of it.
And Paul is collecting any known version of this. Is incredibly fragile. No, that is one, the original artwork. This is the printed page. This is the coloring. And the artwork is here. Oh, yeah. So you've got the three. Oops.
Yeah. And the date on this?
I can't remember.
I should know.
1890.
No, it's earlier.
Earlier, 80 something.
Yeah, 87 or
Yeah,
86. Something.
you're right.
Something
That's-
crazy.
I'm sorry, you just explained this, but I guess I didn't catch it. This is the original.
Yeah.
And what's that?
The
That's-
coloring. They would print it.
Oh,
and-
it's a print.
and
Okay,
so
got
it will
Uh-huh.
watercolor indication, and then they will go to
It's
the
the color
process
guide. Uh-huh.
of. It's like a color guide, and there was a guy that would do
The
the
set.
coloring for the printing.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Let me ask you, since I'm not going to have time for everybody it looks like them, and there's some artists I just don't know at all, so you have to tell me if you think I'd be
You
interested.
want to see this? You know, I guess.
I know this stuff a little. I'd be curious to know the
Okay.
things I don't know, like, I don't know
This
who
is-
Plowin is exactly.
You don't know Plauen. Lucky you.
Father and son.
Oh, father and son, never mind, I got it.
But you should see the original one.
But then, okay,
See
hold on,
one.
I'd like to see
Really
it,
sweet.
if I have to choose from the people I know, I'd like to see Giacovetti. Yeah, okay.
And that lovely.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the book I want to put out. Is the complete Father and Son.
So what else?
Well, how about a little, I'd love to see a Giacovetti original if you have some good ones.
Oh yeah, one. So it's here. I was fairly sure you would be interested.
Giacovetti?
Yeah. And look, you know,
Oh,
the color
that's another way of doing
indication
color
in the
guides.
back. That's the way they would do it at that time.
Light table.
Sure. Up.
Where's this one from, do you think?
It's from the 50s, 60s. He did dozens of them.
Yeah.
And we have some more. I picked only one, but we have, and all of them, almost all of them are colored on the back.
You saw it like the reprint that just came out of the Pinocchio book that he did?
No.
Really beautiful from a small
And
publisher in
a
France.
small publisher is also working on the Kama Sutra that
yeah?
I published 20, 30 years ago.
Of Giacobetti?
Yeah.
Ah.
And his version of the Kama Sutra is incredible.
I've seen that. But the Pinocchio one is just like really great, incredibly
in
elaborate
full color,
comics pages.
full
Yeah,
color.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But like a lot of woven together, different shaped panels and stuff like that. It's beautiful. And when he's at his most intense, he's sort of like Wolverton-like, you know. Like,
Everything is in motion. And look at this panel. There's nothing in status.
If you look
status.
close enough, you'll see it's not a line. Each
It's built up.
He was crazy.
Yeah, look, it is. George Price. Wow. I would love to have seen him draw. He's like scratching his way around the form. It's really wow. I wouldn't have noticed that.
it's nice. This. Cool. So let's see, if we don't have too much time left, what else do I need to see? Need. Who's Theophil Alexander, do you know?
I think he's another guy from the 1890s.
I don't. You know this? Comics in one panel, silent.
Oh, Professor Pi, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was published in French. Charlie Moncel. Willem told Walensky, publish this. And we are lucky enough to call this sample. I love it.
Yeah.
He's still alive. He's a very old man, but still alive.
God.
I love this one. It's crazy.
Wait, how old can an old man be? This is like, it must be at least 20 when he did it, let's say, so 1903. Wow.
No, he did that after the Second World War.
Oh.
Isn't it
No.
in
It's the
1920?
number. It's the number.
Oh,
that,
the number
Oh.
of the
Oh, I
strip.
thought it was 19.
see, you would number every
Oh, right, okay, got
every
it.
strip.
Got it. Jump to
Now that I see
conclusion.
20.
He did that from the, in my, if my memory serves me right, from the 50s to the 70s, something like that. He would do it.
Did I see an opera down there? Is that what it-
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I knew.
All right, I'll take your taste. I'll live with that.
Well, you know, all right, to tell you the truth, your selection is, I would have chosen exactly the same.
Oh, thanks.
It's
That's
great.
a great compliment.
Oh yeah, well, believe me, it's true.
Oh my gosh. Look at that.
Isn't it cool? Man, talk about having chops.
No shit. And what date do you think this is? Late 20s.
I think.
Yeah.
By then he was almost blind. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, because 1930 is really when he's losing his eyesight.
But
This is on its way. This is on
well,
its way.
he's definitely getting looser. I would have thought this would be
24,
like
25 maybe?
Yeah, like I would think.
We should ask Jenny about this. She probably-
She probably doesn't know. Sadly enough. I wish she did. But did you see the one that I put in the Maud strip, this daily strip? It's drawn by Braille, and he didn't see anymore.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that,
Glasses like
'cause
this.
When he first got hired into the Pulitzer's papers, it's because he was like the Thomas Nast of his moment, so they wanted the prestige of this guy working in the Sunday sections. But at that time, he began to like really figure, well, I can just kind of jerk off here. I don't have to work hard like I do on these built drawings. So those Happy Hooligans, which are him just trying to like be on a holiday, still have real structure.
I agree.
But then, as he gets older, one problem he has is his eyesight just begins to go. And by
That's what Paul told me, yeah.
By the late 20s, he's virtually blind. So he's drawing from memory, as if you were drawing with your eyes closed. No, okay, a nose, it's like this, and then the eye would be about here. He vaguely can see. And so that one thing I found, which is the elephant and the donkey talking together, it's
like
like
one of the-
by Braille. It's one of his later
And
things.
it's one of the most beautiful things in that exhibit.
Yeah, that page is
Yeah,
poetic.
it's
I was
so
really sad
soulful.
sending it away for a year. I have it like right up above the thinking couch.
So moving. And it's also written in Braille, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, how few words can I get away with?
It's
That I have to
I'm an old man, it's hard to write
write
this
words.
But here, I think he had more going on because this was earlier than whatever year that was.
Yeah,
the other one
yeah,
I have just
yeah,
because he's still
definitely.
making stuff that's molded.
Yeah. And then,
Man, it looks like just such easy work for him. Like I'll just kind of.
yeah, all you have to do is draw for 50 years.
Yeah.
And you end up drawing with
No penciling.
very little.
Yeah,
Is it?
you sure? I don't know.
You know this.
Oh, that one I have. That one I have. I have that one I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Forget it. What else do you want?
Well, let me see what else you brought down.
Oh, this one. This one you know, but we received it last week.
Oh.
So it could have been in the exhibition, but we
Yes,
received
certainly.
it.
I never saw these KOs, the red mechanical KO.
It's
Get white
for the,
back.
for the cover.
Yes, to get white
Let's get back there. And
We got some great stuff from Glenn by Kurtzman. Isn't
It's-
that incredible?
the Glenberg collection I knew from reputation, but it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Great eye and like really dedicated.
The page, the matte cover, my God, where?
Isn't that amazing that it exists? The first sketch. Wow.
God, unbelievable.
This you got from Dennis Kitchen's?
No, we got it from a specialized seller in Germany.
Oh, okay.
The guy, he spent as of his year in the United States, you know, grabbing everything he can find, and then he comes back and
There we go.
that's way that way it works. Yeah.
And you know that thing he did, the war story of Kurtzman's that we put in the show?
That's my favorite,
That's
you know.
his best story.
I completely agree with
And
you.
it's how I got to know Glenn, because basically, what was happening is there's this guy named Russ Cochran who used to auction off artwork. So I was bidding on this stuff. And the finalists are like put in rotation to phone bid against each other. And at a certain point, while I was on the phone, I had to wait for 10 minutes. So I put the phone down. I get a call from Jay Lynch, and Lynch says, "Are you bidding on that Corpse on the Imogen story?" I said, "Yeah, how should I say?" "Well, I didn't, but I knew that Glenn Bray was bidding against somebody, and he was having trouble."
Only these two guys are.
So I called up Glenn on the other phone, basically, and said, "Glenn, this is nuts. We're going to bankrupt each other. How about I propose? It looks like my bid is next. If you'll trust me, I'll buy it, and I'll take 4. You take 4, and we'll make stats of the story, and we'll each have 4 of the originals." I said, "Okay, sounds decent to me." So I was the one that received the artwork, and I had it for a week, and I was loving it. We had a stat camera, so I was about to make all the stats, and I was like, "Wait a minute. Glenn Bray's a collector. Me, I'm an accumulator. I love this. I won't be that happy with the stats, and it's dangerous to break this thing up. It's one work. It's 6 pages, and it's really a suite of pages. We shouldn't decide misgivings." I called up Glenn and said, "Look, man, it was my idea. It was a stupid idea. So if you want, you can buy it for what I paid for it. But if for any reason you don't want, I'll be glad to pay you for the whole thing, but I won't insist. It's not like I got it, possession's 9/10 of the law or anything like that. So what are we going to do?" So I'll be glad to take it. And it went off to him, and there it's rested ever since. So I haven't seen it since whatever,
We had
1980.
we had a going away party for it.
But then,
pilgrimage.
so I knew it existed, and it meant like I knew that Glenn would lend it to me. So there, you know, it was on its way here.
I was discussing with Thierry. I said I think it's one of the high points of Kurtzman, and therefore one of the high
highest
points
of comics.
I
absolutely agree.
It's you know, the way the corpse turns on the page. It's unbelievable. It's
Boom, boom, boom.
It's so, I mean, it's all of the best aspects of his total sense of abstraction. You know, like, I must have said this on that video, like it starts as horizontals, the next page is verticals, then it turns into a swirl and diagonals, and then finally that last page recapitulates all the movements and brings it back to horizontal. So it's totally abstract that way.
I agree with you. And he knew the way he works. Even here you can see it. You know, the way he breaks down the page is unbelievable. And he is a great artist. To me, the older I get and the more I read comics, and then the more Kurtzman is probably the big man for me. I absolutely worship.
That's great.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the other thing that's really great in that story is that it changes the point of view to look over the Korean's shoulder. That was almost the kind of thing you could get arrested.
And you were there when we did the tribute in Angoulême to Kurtzman.
I think that's right.
Yeah, and we showed the Imogen Page corpse.
Yeah.
And I can tell you the great music for it is Fables of Faubus of Charlie Mingus. It works. We did that, and it works. It works.